Hello, and welcome back to Syberia. We are continuing from the Barrockstadt University, where we have recently arrived, and we would like to continue our journey, but we need to wind up the train. For that, we need to uh, tow it a little bit further. For that, we need to find money. For that, we need to repair some band orchestra. For that, we need to find some counterweight, and for that, we need to find some grapes. Now that we're caught up with the plot, let's continue talking with some random guy.
Excuse me. Sir, please, just a moment.
Yes, what is it? I'm not deaf, you know.
I am sorry to disturb you in your work, sir, but...
This young Mammothus primigenius is barely 40,000 years old. Fantastic, wouldn't you say, miss?
Yes. Probably.
What do you mean, probably?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, you don't know, I see. What can I do for you, my dear child?
Yeah, he hates me.
To tell you the truth, I don't know very much about mammoths, and I'm not here as a student. In fact, I'm a lawyer.
It's all right, nobody is perfect. All the same, the study of the Pleistocene period is fascinating.
I'm sure it is, but I'm sorry to say my current mission is totally monopolizing my time. Another time, maybe.
Ah, that's what they all say. But anyway, let me present myself. I am Cornelius Pons, Emeritus Professor and Lecturer at the University of Barrockstadt. I'm proud to say that I'm head of the Department of Paleozoology at our university.
Kate Walker. Pleased to meet you. It wasn't really my intention to stop off here, but I'll confess, this university is really very impressive.
Ah, indeed. There's such a tradition of learning here. And so much knowledge, a real depth of culture, intelligence, and gray matter. I myself did my studies here and never left.
Actually, I'm here because I've been summoned by the rectors of the university.
Oh, I see. You must have made a mistake on your enrollment form.
No. I haven't come here to study. I have an important matter of inheritance to attend to. I have to find the heir.
And you hope you will find him here?
I'm not altogether sure. But you see, my train broke down coming into Barrockstadt station.
In that case, my dear, you must come to one of my lectures. Here's a question for you. Do you know what the Proboscidean order is?
Nope.
The Probowhatian?
Ah, you see? There are gaps in your knowledge that need refreshing.
I feel I've lost my way a little here. I could really do with your help.
Oh, my dear child, you've chosen your moment. I absolutely must finish off my lecture for this afternoon.
It's a lecture about mammoths?
Oh, yes and no. More specifically, it is about their migration. Do excuse me, I need to concentrate.
To tell you the truth, I'm looking for Mr. Hans Vorarlberg. He's the sole heir of a very unusual factory. My company is in charge of negotiations for the takeover of this factory. At last word, he was living in Syberia. So, as soon as my train is ready, I'll be continuing my journey eastwards.
Syberia. Ah, Syberia. But what was it you said again?
Said what?
You mentioned a name. The person you are looking for.
Vorarlberg. Hans Vorarlberg. Do you know him?
Hans Vorarlberg. How could I forget him? Such an extraordinary fellow. So inventive. We shared a passion for mammoths, you know, and we bonded over this passion. Without it, I confess, I would have had little to do with an odd, ageless retard like Hans. At the time, we were both students. Well, sort of. Put it this way. Hans had special permission to attend paleontology lectures. You see, he didn't really have the necessary qualifications. In exchange, Hans did a few odd jobs around the university.
Your Hans Vorarlberg sounds uncannily like the one I'm looking for.
I'm not sure, my dear. Hans was above all questions of money and business. Just to imagine him running a factory, perish the thought.
Can you tell me a little bit more about him?
He was always a mystery to me. He never said very much, never quite seemed to grasp what you said to him. He expressed himself instead through his incredible mechanical contraptions. His inventions, I admit, have been much appreciated by the university. The few times we really did talk, it was about his strange interest for mammoths and a doll. Some sort of doll that obsessed him.
A doll, you say?
Yes, he kept talking about it. One day he described it to me. A sort of children's toy. A miniature mammoth mounted by a mount. It appears he found it in a cave not far from his home. The event all sounds very dramatic. His account was slightly confused, but it awoke a great interest in me.
What do you mean?
To my knowledge, there was only one tribe who made figurines featuring a mouth, and that tribe is the Yukols. They live in the farthest reaches of Syberia, and for them, the dolls constituted a sacred object, illustrating one of their central legends. How such a doll made the journey from the frozen Siberian north to a cave in the French Alps is a mystery to me. Even today, it is beyond my comprehension.
Have you considered that Hans Vorarlberg was maybe making it up? You said yourself he didn't seem to have all his mental facilities intact.
No, that's impossible. Hans couldn't invent the story like that. The doll is a sacred part of the Syberia legend. He described it to me in exact detail. Syberia itself is a chimera that paleontologists of the world are very fond of pursuing.
Arriving in Barrockstadt is an amazing experience. I've never seen such a station.
You came by train?
Yes, in a kind of clockwork train with a spring mechanism that winds down regularly.
You mean you drive a train? Young ladies of today never cease to amaze me.
Oh, no, I'm not the engineer. The train's engineer is actually an automaton. I am sorry, all this probably sounds very strange.
A clockwork train, driven by an automaton. I once knew a man long ago who could have invented such a train. It was he who designed the bandstand in the main square. To think that he was even capable of creating such a gadget. He was astounding, a true genius. But oddly, at the same time, he was also almost a child. It was as if his mental and physical evolution had definitively halted at the age of 10. Can you believe that?
Yeah, very
yes.
much.
I think I can believe that. At least I'm beginning to. My train stopped in a peculiar aviary. It's very odd. A lot of bird species seem to seek harbor there.
Ornithology is far from being my favorite subject, but I must concede that the station is the pride of the university. It was initially intended for teaching purposes, but then birds started arriving from all around the world. It seems that there are still rare species breeding there and flourishing.
Are there? Can you give me an example?
I have been told about a kind of bird with peculiar habits. Let's see now, the Amazon cuckoo, that's right. But, I'm so foolish, I can't remember what was so special about it. Just that its behavior is very peculiar.
The Amazon? Where's the Amazon? What is the Amazon?
I'm sorry, my dear, but one cannot learn everything in a lifetime. Specialization is the key to real knowledge. Why don't you pay a visit to our library?
Thank you very much. If I were to say Forest Sauvignon to you, what would you say?
Oh, let's see. Sauvignon. Sauvignon? I would say it's some kind of tropical shrub, don't you think?
We are talking about the same plant, then. It is a very rare shrub with small, juicy fruits. I found a book about the Amazon, and it says that there are even Sauvignon plants growing right here in Barrockstadt. You wouldn't know where, would you?
Amazon Sauvignon plants here? No. No, I don't think there are any. Highly implausible. But, you should ask the station master. He is keeper of the greenhouse at our university, so he could tell you more than me.
Oh, thanks very much. Professor, how do I say this? You see, I didn't think I'd need a lot of money when I set out. And it turns out I need money after all. It's a delicate matter, I know, but I was wondering if you could help me out?
My dear, it would be a pleasure, but you see, I barely have enough myself to cover my meager expenditure on what I'm paid by the university.
Sorry, I didn't mean to offend or...
However, if we look at the example of Hans, it is true that our university always rewards people who perform some service for it. This is our dear Rector's jurisdiction, however.
I'll leave you in peace. I hope I haven't disturbed you too much.
Sorry? No, not at all, my dear child.
Now, we learned two things from this encounter. First, the guy is interested in a doll, which we might fetch from the train for the guy.
No point.
Second, if we're looking for the grapes, we might ask station master.
No point.
So let's get back to the train, shall we?
Hello?
So, you got him then, this air?
Ah, it's you, Mr. Marson. Good day, and how are you, sir?
I'll feel a whole lot better when this whole business is over and the sales contract is signed. Where the hell are you?
I'm in Barrockstadt.
What? What in God's name are you doing there?
It's a magnificent university town. It would appear Hans Vorarlberg once passed by here several years ago.
So if he isn't there anymore, then there's no point hanging around.
I hear what you're saying, sir, but I have good reason to believe that Hans Vorarlberg is still alive. For the time being, I'm trying to gather extra information from people who have known him.
What's your next destination?
I'm not exactly sure yet.
Doesn't sound like you know too much, Kate.
I just need a bit of time, Mr. Marson.
Yeah, well, time is what you ain't got. Keep me posted.
This is not a healthy work environment. Too much pressure. Simply too much.
I'm sorry to disturb you.
What can I do for you, miss?
Where might I find some forest Sauvignon plants, please?
No place around here, that's for sure. I don't know what you're talking about. That stuff's from the Amazon.
You know, for someone who knows nothing about the plant, you seem pretty well informed about which mysterious faraway country it comes from.
Oh, Amazon, Peru, Papua New Guinea, it's all the same to me. Gotta go. Gotta work.
Wait, don't go. You know what? I don't think he was being totally straight with me.
Oh, really? The question is, where is he?
I can't go that way.
Yeah, I figured as much. Hi, Oscar. Bye, Oscar. Just to make it sure, this guy is not somewhere around here, easy. I don't think so. Ah,
Excuse me, Station Master, but I need you again.
Can't you see I am very, very busy?
No.
Well, I am. Very busy indeed. But, okay, I think I can give you a minute of my time.
I'm looking for a kind of little juicy berry. You don't know where I could find some?
Look, lady, the station doesn't have any Sauvignon berries, not even forest Sauvignon.
Funny you should mention it. That's exactly what I was looking for. Forest Sauvignon.
Sauvignon, raspberries, red currants, they're all the same to me. And we don't grow none of them here.
But you see, I have just read a very interesting book which says that the rare Sauvignon berry is actually cultivated here in the famous Barrockstadt University aviary itself.
Well, if it's in a book, then don't believe everything you read, miss.
I don't know why, but I don't think you're telling me the truth.
What do you mean? I don't know. How should I know where to find your stupid grape? Go ask your professor, what's his name, Pons, the paleontologist.
But you're the master of this station, so you should know better than anyone.
Nobody tells me anything. I don't know. Go see the old guy with the fossils.
I won't disturb you any longer, Mr. Station Master.
Welcome to Barrockstadt, miss.
no, you're not giving me a very warm welcome. You're... Something is going on here. Something is fishy here.
Do excuse me, Professor. Professor, sorry to disturb you again. Professor, I have brought you something that should be of interest to you. Look.
What have you got there, then? Let's see. An effigy of a mammoth. But this is Hans' doll, is it not? Yes, of course it is. How on earth did you... Oh, my God. It's in my hands. It exists. It really exists. Please do excuse me. I'm deeply, deeply moved.
You see? Your Hans and my Vorarlberg heir are one and the same.
This is incredible. After all these years, how can I ever thank you, my dear? Oh, I must waste no time. I'm off to my laboratory. I must study this carefully. May I borrow your treasure a moment?
Well, actually,
Don't worry, miss. I will take the greatest care of it. But I need to study it. You see, it has such importance to me that this very afternoon I shall deliver an impromptu lecture to my students about this very object. If you are interested in Hans Vorarlberg, then it is essential that you attend.
Do you think so?
Obviously. Give me your telephone number and I will call you the moment my lecture begins. I will return you your doll at the end. You have my word.
Why, thank you, sir. Oh. I have another one of those voice cylinders, right? Yangava cola powder. Is it the one that improves your eyesight?
What is it you want to know, miss?
You wouldn't know where the forest Sauvignon plants are kept in Barrockstadt, would you?
Why do you think there are Sauvignon plants here?
I read about it in a book at the library.
Try going to see the station master. If such a shrub exists, he will have a better idea than anyone.
It's actually he who sent me to you. I thought it a little strange, but he definitely said ask the paleontologist. You're the only one here, aren't you?
Yes, yes indeed. What a strange way to behave. Well, I think he must have made a mistake, that's all. Nobody tells me anything here, and maybe you should ask the rectors. After all, they are in charge of the university.
All right, thanks. I'll leave you in peace.
Sorry?
I can't take it, can I?
I don't need that for the time.
We're not even willing to take it. Now, Rectors again then. Just across the hall.
Gentlemen, forgive me for disturbing you again, but I have a little problem.
A little problem, a little problem. Everyone has little problems now, you know.
They are kept to oneself, and they don't stop the world from turning.
Nor trains from leaving stations.
Are you sure there are no Amazon Sauvignon plants in Barrockstadt? Because I have just interviewed the station master and the paleontologist, and what they said really didn't convince me that there wasn't any here.
We are quite definite on this point. There are no Sauvignon plants growing in Barrockstadt.
You see, miss, the Amazon forest Sauvignon is a rare shrub that requires very special conditions for growth.
That's right. Conditions that are very hard to reproduce, believe you me.
Difficult, but not impossible. Fortunately, our garden has proved very successful.
Excuse me?
Your garden? So, there is a garden in Barrockstadt?
Oh, the garden. Well, if there was one, it would be only a little garden hidden behind the station. But our station master would be very proud of it.
He would take very good care of it, too. Everything would grow marvelously if we were able to cultivate it at all, and it would be all down to his gardening prowess.
And we would be proud as punch. And we wouldn't forget the role the paleontologist might play in this.
What's the paleontologist got to do with it all?
Without him and without his laboratory, how would we make the wine, do you think?
And it would be good wine indeed, my dear colleagues, would it not?
Oh, yes, a delightful balm to soothe away our long hours of toil and our heavy responsibilities.
We would wait impatiently every year for the arrival of the year's produce.
So, if I have understood you correctly, there are indeed Sauvignon plants in Barrockstadt. They are cultivated in a garden behind the station, then turned into wine by the paleontologist's loving care, and finally, the pleasure of tasting is yours. If I'm not very much mistaken, gentlemen, you have a minor racket operating here.
Miss, you do go jumping to some hasty conclusions.
We never said that. That's not what we said at all.
We were talking in the conditional, you know, with ifs and woulds.
So, what would happen if I had such a hunch?
You would have to keep it to yourself, of course.
Yes, if you would be so kind as to keep it a secret. It would only be a small local concern producing barely a few bottles every year.
That's right. Nothing so grandiose as a business. Otherwise, we'd be liable to be fined. So we can't count on your discretion, can't we?
Don't worry, I have no intention at all of getting messed up in anything.
I mean, with this information,
Here we
surely,
are, busy.
Thank you.
And
surely they can just give me money necessary for me to tow the train, right? I don't need to repair the orchestra. So why do I do this? Huh? Okay. Since I'm still in the university, shall I discuss these findings with Professor Pons?
What is it you...
I have just had a very interesting little discussion with the Rectors. It seems that you are perfectly aware of the existence of Sauvignon plants here in Barrockstadt. Apparently, you find them very tasty.
Not at all. I never drink wine. I prefer to make it. Production to me is much more satisfying.
So you don't deny?
Why, seeing as the Rectors have let you into our little secret, I even converted part of the laboratory into a fermenting room for Ammer's own Sauvignon wine production. Of course, I cannot produce wine in large quantities. We have to be discreet, after all.
And what about your students? Haven't they noticed anything?
Oh, you know how students are. After all, a chemical reaction is still a chemical reaction, even when grapes are involved. And malolactic fermentation takes time. Sometimes strange odors begin to waft through the corridors. Then I just burn a little sulfur.
Incredible. Totally incredible. You are really something, Professor Pons. Really something.
I'm not sure whether I should take that as a compliment.
I'll leave you in peace.
Sorry?
I mean, they don't seem to profit a lot from that. It's definitely something that is organized by a group with everybody being on the same page. What are they doing? So it does not seem entirely legal, but I don't see that they... Like, what crime do they do? They preserve the species of a berry, right? Of grape. They take care of it, and they make something for their own ingestion for themselves, and this is it.
Excuse me, Station Master.
Okay. Fine.
You have been playing with me, haven't you? You knew very well there were forest Sauvignon berries in the station garden.
No, not at all. I've never seen your Sauvignon thing.
You don't have to lie to me. I know all about it. You and the Rectors are in cahoots, and the professor's lab has been turned into a distillery. You've all got a nice little smuggling racket on the side.
Smuggling racket? Hey, lady, you're going a bit far there. It's just a little on-the-side thing we got going, that's all. It's just for ourselves. Hey, honest.
You should be ashamed of yourselves. Aren't you worried about the reputation of this fine university? The authorities should be informed of this.
But we haven't done anything wrong. It's not a crime.
Can you open the gate to the garden, please?
Sure. No problemo. Right away, miss.
And while we are going to the garden, we can also deliver the cylinder to the train. Hi, Oscar.
Hans, I have some very sad news. Our father is dead. He passed away peacefully last Sunday in his sleep. I feel so lonely now.
Father had been but a shadow of himself since your departure. I had to take care of everything for him. Housework, factory paperwork, the workforce, clients, everything. And now, today, well, I really don't know who or what I'm fighting for. Times are so hard, and this terrible war is destroying everything. Nobody cares for our automatons anymore. I just think about you returning. And when you do return, I will have turned this factory into a palace worthy of your genius. Please take care of yourself. I love you so much, Anna.
Now, let's start untangling the knot of all the requests that we have. So we should have the berries. So we should have the counterweight. So we should fix the orchestra. So we should have money. So we should tow the train.
There you are. Please feel free to visit the garden at your leisure. And there was one thing. I'm not a liar. Not really. Just mum's the word. There is the reputation of the university to think about. I have superiors, and I have to do what I can.
I understand. Don't you worry.
Oh, thank you, miss.
He has only one eye, right? So. Where are the berries? It's not like it's even a greenhouse, so I would have understood if that would be within the station itself, right? But it's not within the station where you have the greenhouse conditions. It's plainly outside without any sort of protection or climate control or moisture control. How do you Why does it grow there? Well, at least this one has a safety railing.
Impossible to reach it.
Well, are you serious? What do you mean impossible to reach it? What do I miss with this thing?
Impossible.
Do I need some sort of a stick or... Ha. There is nothing else I can do around here right now, right? Let's see. Sauvignon. Ha. Okay. I missed something in the lab. That is not pleasant. But it can happen.
Yeah, miss, please, excuse me.
Yes?
You know, I want to apologize for our little misunderstanding. I brought you a bottle of wine. Barrockstadt Sauvignon. Very good year. Let me know what you think.
I'm very touched. Thank you.
Good luck on your journey, lady.
Thank you.
Okay. You're forgiven. Now, apparently the thing that I might have forgotten is in this lab. Is it there? I'm not sure. I doubt that. No, that will take me back on the previous screen, so no. This thing. Okay though. And this little adventure is one of the reasons why having a walkthrough, or maybe like knowing beforehand what items you have an option to collect, might be beneficial in my opinion. Because going back and forth gives you no... it's not justified story-wise, right? Unless, of course, you think of it, yeah, Kate could not have possibly known beforehand that she will need this thing. So she goes to the mechanical eagle, she encounters an issue, she goes back, she finds some tool, and then she goes back again now to the eagle. But what does it give me as an... Oh, okay, I'm not a passive observer to the story. It's not like I'm watching a film. Ha! Imagine watching a film where you have this scene. That would be interesting. Oh, they just vanished. Okay. Right, and this is it? This is a little bit sus. I mean, we do need an egg, right, as a counterweight, but what are the chances that it will be the same like the necessary egg? It's actually the necessary egg. Well, I'll be damned. It's fun to observe the characters, that when you pass them they track you, right? So like they move their head and stuff, but as soon as you approach the ladder that you're supposed to descend, they revert to the neutral position. They're like, yep, no one is around anymore, so... Like, come on, what are the chances? And why were you unable to move the lever with your hand? Just asking, Don. Just asking. Also, what prohibits you to remove the metal egg from the left side? Oh, this one is fixed. Questions? Questions, questions, questions.
Gentlemen, forgive me.
A little prob.
They are kept.
Nor.
Gentlemen, I have managed to repair your university bandstand.
The bandstand is playing again. This is marvelous news.
We are really very grateful indeed.
Yes, very grateful indeed. We will look back on your visit with much fondness in our hearts.
And now let us in turn honor our word. How much is it you need, miss?
$100, if it's not too much to ask.
We agree to grant you the aforementioned sum, miss. You may now leave with your train.
That was quite a... Is the bag with
And while
chump
we're on
change?
the subject, when will you be leaving?
Yes, because now you should relocate your train as quickly as possible. Here we are, busy
Already?
Thank you.
And thank...
Really, they just gave me chump change, right? $100 and what? I don't know. $1 is a bill, right? So what are those? 50 cents? Quarters? I imagine if those are quarters. 400 coins. I'm going the wrong way. I got a little bit carried away with my thoughts, but yeah, with money we can now go to the barge. We can pay the people and we can tow our train.
There you go. Here's your money. I've checked it. It's all there.
Ah, thank you. Not difficult get dollar. See? You are a real businesswoman.
I'm not the only one around here.
We pleased to do deal with you. Now, you open lock or we no help you.
Why didn't you manage to open them? After all, you don't have to be a genius.
Ma vad pensinos esto? Di kleine madam. No se sei mar alles non comprendo en allora kaput en andere bordel. Zirs var moi. On boom telefonieren kaput.
My husband say instructions complicated. No understand manual. My husband angry. Very angry. Oh, now telephone broke. Kaput.
Now that is annoying. What are you gonna do next?
We wait repairman.
Well, I don't have the time to wait. I'll have to go have a look. There must be some way of releasing the opening mechanism.
Take key. Sailor always need key for lock. Okay, thanks.
Well, let's see if we can operate it. Who's there?
Hello?
Hey, how's my little baby girl? I was thinking about you only yesterday because I saw this fantastic fur coat. You are wrapping up warm, aren't you? I mean, people in foreign countries never know how to dress properly for the weather.
Mom, it's so sweet of you to worry, but I'm fine, really. The trip's a breeze, no worries. I mean, there's...
Well, when are you coming back? Frank is dying to meet you.
Frank? Oh, yeah, your singer. You two seeing each other then?
Oh, you'll never guess the surprise he gave me yesterday.
No, I suppose I won't.
Frank invited me to a big charity show organized by, someone or another. Anyway, they got him singing a couple of old numbers from his repertoire, and in the end, he asked me to go up on stage with him. Can you imagine me, your mother, on stage in front of thousands of people?
Wow, I would have loved to have been there. Not too emotional, I hope.
Oh, too emotional by far, especially as I hadn't even been to the hairdresser. Well, I didn't even have the proper dress on. But Frank promised me he'd see to that next time. Oh, he's such a cutie. And he's got the sweetest little...
I'm sure he has, Mom.
Yeah.
So
What are you
good
talking
that
about?
you
What are
could
you
join
talking
us
about,
on
eh?
Sunday. Let's see, when is his next gala? I'm so forgetful these days. I swear I'd lose my head if it weren't in the clouds. You just watch out, my girl. Them years will catch up with you much quicker than you think.
I'll look out for them, Ma. Nice to hear your voice. Lots of love.
Well, to you too, my little munchkin.
That sounded a little bit cringe, you know?
The instructions are written in a language I don't recognize.
Yeah. These dudes should be able now to enter the lock.
Hey there! On the boat!
Guten Tag, schöne Mademoiselle.
My husband say, hello, young lady. You want to talk to us?
Right, I've got it. I know now how the locks work. So guide your boat into the lock, and I'll take care of the mechanism.
Godverdomme. Das ist eine echte Ladies. Alle trois, range alle Dingen and obligados de dame. Ach, set content on surut again.
What did your husband say?
You, hurry up. We hurry to travel again.
Okay. We'll meet each other on
I'm
the
not
other side.
entirely sure
By my
that's
train,
exactly what he
okay?
said. Why is it already so high up? It's supposed to be lower. Is it not? Yes, look, it is barely, like, the roof is barely on the level of the platform. Perfect. Now we just need to attach the train, right?
Hey there! On the boat! Da, barge on other side! You still need us?
It must be really neat to travel by river.
Oh, slechte boot. Eine vergete das Grund. Für mich, loco ist fantastica. Eine kleine Rot mit Ustet, okay. You guide.
Excuse me?
My husband say he like his barge and he not like your train. Too noisy. If you want to travel in tin can, you stay in tin can.
That's not what he... No, that's not what he said.
What do we do now to tie my train to the barge?
Mademoiselle Takatak, loco coco mitchen.
What did your husband say?
You attach chain to train and chain to train with barge.
Hop, catch us up.
Yeah. Finally.
Hello, Kate Walker here.
Miss Walker, this is Professor Pons. I'm about to start my lecture on the Yukols at any moment. Please make haste to come.
Okay, I'll give it my best.
Excellent. We'll be in the main lecture hall. See you soon.
So it seems like I'm being summoned back, but it's also a nice point for us to wrap the game, to wrap the episode. I'd like to say thank you for staying with me. I hope you enjoy my company and my gameplay. And if that is the case, then please leave me a like and subscribe to the channel. Or otherwise, let me know down in the comments what I can improve for you. I hope to see you next time. Have a nice day out there, and bye.